Assalamualaikum and greetings, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to my channel. This is Averroes, and for today, we have a very special guest, and he comes by the name of Nathan. To me, Nathan is a prolific content writer who posts various articles on his LinkedIn account. And for today, I'll be asking him a few questions related to his journey and experience of becoming a content writer in his industry. Let's give Nathan a round of applause, and I hope that we are able to gain insightful inputs as well as information, tips, and advice from our friend here, Nathan.
Hi, I'm Liam, but you can call me Nathan. So I'm a law graduate and I did my UK transfer degree program with Brickfields Asia College. So I spent the first 2 years and also I did my A-levels at BAC. So in my third year, I transferred to Queen University of Belfast in Northern Ireland. And after that, when I came back, I did my CLP at BAC. So currently, I'm waiting for my results. But in the meantime, I'm also working as a content writer at Hybrid, which is a foreign media agency which has a base in KL. So I write for one of their brands called Study International, which deals with everything that relates to international education. So if I'm not busy with my day job, I usually write on LinkedIn, and also I play a little bit of frisbee. So yeah, that's all about me. So I used to write a lot as a kid. I used to write a lot, I used to read a lot, and I used to write fictional stories for this online art community called DeviantArt. It's still existing, pretty sure you can check it out. But my first proper writing job was actually as a journalist for a platform called the Can Law Report. So it's an online news platform that basically breaks down legal content in a very fun and educational manner. And then when I went to the UK, I was a student blogger for the university I studied in. And then when I came back, I decided to take a little bit of a break and actually focus on the law stuff. So while I was doing my CLP, I was also writing on the side, mainly helping law blogs to blog owners to basically format their blog and write a lot of legal content for a lot of lawyers who were doing legal content during the height of the pandemic. So that's pretty much my journey into writing. Why I love to write. I as a person, I really like to discover and I really like to hear people's stories. So writing was basically a way for me to share my interpretation of people's stories to the world. So that's why I like to write. The goal with writing really is just to get the message across. It really depends on what kind of writing you're doing, Like, are you doing copywriting? Are you doing content writing? Are you writing for your own personal platform, or are you writing for someone else's platform? So every writing has a different purpose. But so it's very hard to nail down what's my general goal for writing. But yeah, I just like to hear people's stories, and from people's stories, writing was a way for me to correlate or sort of capture that moment in writing and share it to the world. So that's why I like to write. So I think writing techniques is very technical. So I think some advice I can give is when I meet with a lot of writers, usually the main question they'll ask me is Liam, how do you come up with good content? How do you come up with fresh perspective that not other people can really see? So I think the art of developing the eye involves a lot of consuming a lot of different types of content, and also the ability to listen really well to your audience, to your readers, if it's an interview, to the person that you're interviewing. So it's kind of like a writer's gut feeling, or a writer's you develop that feel over the years as you write. So that's how we come up with very unique and fresh perspective. And as you mature as a writer, you're able to write in a much more deeper perspective with a much more simpler language. Writing techniques, as I explained earlier, it really depends on the platform. So each platform has a different way of writing, and it's very hard for me to break it down into what are the writing techniques. So the other advice I would give is just to start. There's really no right or wrong way to write. Everybody has a different style of writing. So what's more important is for you to get out there and put out your work. So you won't really know how well you write until you see how well your audience respond to you, and that's where you improve in your craft. Maybe you try method A and it doesn't work out, then you go to method B, C, D, and so on. So Now this is a great question. How do I keep motivated to write more and be consistent? So staying motivated, I think it really helps if you are really passionate about the things you're writing. So in that way you won't get bored of writing the particular niche or genre or type of content. How to be consistent? One way I do it is by creating a content calendar. I also try to balance between planned content and fluid content, which basically means that I don't plan. I don't plan all of my content for the month. I try to keep some that are planned, and some content works better when you post on the go, like live updates or trending news or any trend that you want to incorporate into your content. So I try to keep it like a 50-50. But having a content calendar helps because you can at least know, like for the month of, let's say, June, you know what you're going to write, you know what planned content out there, you know what seasonal content that you can put out. So yeah, that's my advice. I guess let's start with the bad news first. So what were the most bitter moments I had while writing? It will probably be during that first writing job I had for Ken Law Report, because as a writer, especially when I first started out, we were basically tasked to create a lot of original content. So I think 9 months of doing that, of like ideation and constant pitching, because like even though we have to write a set amount of articles, you're not just only pitching that set amount, you're actually pitching more than what you write. So I guess that constant need to think of ideas and think of trends, it just got I got writer's burnout, and eventually I thought that wasn't a really sustainable way of living. And also, when you first start out, the pay is not that great. So that's kind of why you get the saying that like it's very hard to earn as a writer in Malaysia, which is true. Content writing isn't the most profitable way to sustain a living in Malaysia. So that was I think that was the moment I hit a huge wall. It wasn't until I left to the UK and I realized that I actually liked writing. I just didn't like the fact that I didn't like certain aspects of writing, but I didn't completely hate writing. So yeah, that was one of the more tough moments as a writer. And also, as a writer myself, like you deal with a lot of imposter syndrome, a lot of doubts of whether your content or idea will work. So that's pretty normal as a writer. So what were some of the sweetest moments I had while writing? It would probably be when you write an article and it really blows up. Like when you hop on a trend or you write something that's really special and the numbers reflects it, the data reflects it, and you know you created something special. As a writer, it's really nice to feel that. Obviously, who doesn't like to see like high numbers, high performing posts, right? That dopamine you feel, or the joy you feel from creating is like, yes, I think I got it as a writer. So yeah, I think it's an up and down curve, up and down wave. Sorry, yeah, it's like a wave of emotions you feel as a writer. But I really tell a lot of my friends and a lot of my creator friends who also relate that it doesn't really matter where you are in life. If you are struggling with a purpose, and if you enjoy the struggle and you find meaning in that struggle, it really doesn't matter whether you experience the highs and lows, as long as you keep moving forward as a writer. Yeah. If you want to write in Malaysia, and if you really want it to be a career, you got to really know why you're writing. In this new era of creative work, we're no longer just writers. A piece of advice I got is that we're actually hybrid creatives. So that means that we do more than one thing as a creative. So we write and we create, or we write and we do graphic designs, or we write and we do video editing. So as a writer, you need to really build your skill set to be more diverse, because the way I see it, if you're only going to be good at writing, yeah, you're going to be quite far ahead in terms of the creative industry, because it's constantly evolving. Companies are not just willing to pay like the same price. Like they can pay the same price to get a content creator rather than paying the same price to get a content writer or copywriter. So as a writer yourself, you really need to build that skill set. And last but not least, just learn to enjoy the process. Eventually you'll find what you like, So yeah, all the best out there.
We have reached the end of today's video, and I would like to express my gratitude and appreciation for Nathan for joining us today. And I hope that this video was helpful and insightful for everyone who has watched it until the very end. Please do follow Nathan on his LinkedIn account with all of his articles and posts there. And till then, once again, thank you, and I'll be seeing everyone in the next upcoming videos. Thank you.